Waiting for more people to hop on. New York Knicks have lost to the Atlanta Hawks tonight, 124 to 139. They are now 25-22 on the season. The Atlanta Hawks move a half a game up on the New York Knicks. So right now in the standings, let's take a look at these standings. Yeah, Atlanta Hawks are a half game behind the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks drop in the play-in tournament at number 7. The Atlanta Hawks are now number 8. Yeah, I guess we could talk about this game. Pretty much in the first quarter, no defense was being played by either team whatsoever. High-scoring affair. And look, they were going back and forth. Knicks actually took a lead in the first quarter. And, yeah, no defense was being played. 38 points from the Knicks in that first quarter compared to 35 for the Atlanta Hawks. Second quarter, 33 points from the Knicks, 33 from the Hawks. And then third quarter of doom, it started bad in the third quarter, but then Julius Randle willed his way to score about a lot of points for the Knicks in that third quarter, and then Knicks pretty much couldn't withhold the Atlanta Hawks in the fourth quarter. So, big task. What up in the chat? Yeah, man, where do we begin? I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure out where to start this. I guess we could start with we missed Mitchell Robinson for sure. Atlanta Hawks drop 139 points on the New York Knicks. We do miss. This is going to be a long 3 weeks without Mitchell Robinson. I'll tell you that. But Jericho Sims started in place of Mitchell Robinson today, and I believe he had a career high 12 points for Jericho Sims. 12 points, 8 rebounds, 28 minutes. Actually did play more than Isaiah Hartenstein, believe it or not. But yeah, man, I mean, where do we begin in this game? It's not like, I guess we could start with the defense because there was no defense being played by either team, but especially by not the Knicks. They didn't play defense tonight at all. Fourth quarter, DeJounte Murray dominated. He was unstoppable. No one could stop him. And it's just a poor defensive effort from the New York Knicks. And you could tell that Mitchell Robinson was being missed. He's a rock for them defensively. And when the Hawks drop 139 points on the New York Knicks, I mean, that's pretty much the game. I mean, the Hawks, what did they shoot tonight? The Hawks shot 56% from the field, guys. But then the Knicks shot 59% from the field. Like, this game was just an offensive barrage. Like, 38% from 3 from the Hawks. Then you had 43% from the Knicks. It's just the Hawks were making more baskets than the Knicks. And the Knicks decided defense was optional tonight. And they were on the losing end of this game. Lamar Jackson, what's up in the chat? What's good? What up, Lamar? Appreciate you in the chat. Yep, Murray was killing us the whole game. Yeah, DeJounte Murray was for sure killing the New York Knicks the whole game. DeJounte Murray finished with 29 points, 12 assists, 14 and 25 from the field. That fourth quarter, he really took over. There was times where Quickly was guarding him, Grimes was guarding him. Didn't matter. He was getting to the paint at will. And, you know, Trae Young, 27 points. So that duo of Murray and Trae Young pretty much hurt the Knicks. But Julius Randle was dominant. Julius Randle, against the Hawks in the regular season, Julius Randle is a force. The Atlanta Hawks cannot guard Julius Randle in the regular season. 32 points for Julius Randle, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Jalen Brunson took a step back tonight. In the first quarter, Jalen Brunson looked like he was gonna have one of those amazing games, but then just couldn't get it going. Only attempted 14 shots. Efficient though. RJ Barrett, efficient. I mean, the only thing I can point to, it's nice to see Obi Toppin get it going too. Obi Toppin, nice to see his 3-point shot get going. Nice to see him with a couple of highlights. You know, we want to see that more. We want to see the Knicks run the pick and roll with Obi Toppin more. You got to get him going off the bench because, you know, coming into this game, the Knicks were one of the worst bench scoring teams in the league, and they're just not scoring off the bench. So Obi Toppin was being missed. Granted, he's coming off of his knee injury, so it's going to take him a while to get going. But you saw spurts in Obi tonight, and hopefully he can build on that and just keep getting better because the Knicks desperately need Obi Toppin to just coming off the bench to give you 10 to 15 points, along with McBride actually hit a couple of threes tonight. Quickly tonight, 11 points, 36 minutes. Yeah, I mean, we played well. It's just defensively was a non-factor. That's what it was tonight, and it's strange to see because defensively the Knicks actually have been pretty solid, not great, but pretty solid. Yeah, PR Defcon in the chat, the way they stagger Trey and Murray helps them a lot. Very weird that the Knicks played zero defense tonight. Must be fatigue. Yeah, I mean, eventually we got to throw away this fatigue argument. I mean, I'm sure the Atlanta Hawks are fatigued also, but, you know, Knicks coming into the game are one of the best road teams in the league. They're coming off 2 straight losses. Now they've lost 3 straight games, and the next game is on Sunday versus the Raptors. Doesn't get easier during this stretch. Toronto Raptors, yeah, we beat them a couple of weeks ago in Toronto, but the Toronto Raptors play the New York Knicks pretty well. But yeah, man, tonight's game was all about defense for me. I mean, we can go do it offensively, but defensively, the Knicks just didn't show up. They didn't show up at all. Yeah, man, I mean, you know, the roller coaster of the season for this New York Knicks team it continues. It really does. You know, they were coming off winning. How many games in a row did they win? They won 1, 2, 3, 4. They won 7 out of 8 games. Everything was riding high when they won in Detroit, and then they lost to the Raptors, Wizards, now the Hawks. And this game really stunk up the bed because, you know, Knicks haven't shown one of these games in a while. They haven't been lackluster on a defensive end in a while. And especially the Hawks were doing whatever they wanted offensively, and Knicks made no adjustments. None. No adjustments made by the New York Knicks. Whether you want to blame that on Thibs, I do. You got to make adjustments, especially on the road. You got to make adjustments. You know, defensively, if it's not working one way, try zone defense. Very inconsistent. Leo in the chat, appreciate you. Yep, Knicks are very inconsistent. They are. They go up, and then they come back down. And then they go up, and then they come back down. It's like a roller coaster. They went from 5 straight losses to 4 straight wins to 3 straight wins to now 3 straight losses. It's just a roller coaster of a season for the New York Knicks, yet they still find themselves above 500, 25-22 on the season. It's just frustrating to witness this as a fan because you want to see some consistency. And, you know, the starters have shown consistency here the last few weeks, but it really has been the lackluster effort from the bench. And I think that come February 9th, the NBA trading deadline, you got to make a move. Have to make a move. I don't want to see the Knicks stand pat. You got to do something to bolster this bench. Do something to spark something because it's not working. And, you know, if you want to be a playoff team in the East, you got to fight with the big dogs. And right now the Knicks are in the play-in tournament. It's not where we want to be. The Miami Heat have, you know, started a click now, and the Miami Heat find themselves in the number 6 spot. So top 6, you got Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, Brooklyn, Cleveland, Miami. Then you got the Knicks in the play-in tournament. So, you know, eventually the Miami Heat were going to find their own, and Miami Heat are starting to win games, and Atlanta Hawks are right behind the New York Knicks, and the Atlanta Hawks have now won 5 straight games. So, you know, Knicks got to figure something out. Coach Tom Thibodeau has to. He didn't make any adjustments tonight. Tom Thibodeau did not make any adjustments tonight, and that was part of the issue. But what I want to see from Thibs is if the defense, look, we know you're missing your rock. We know you're missing Mitchell Robinson, huge part of the Knicks defense. Like it sucks that Mitchell Robinson's out for 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, he's going to get reevaluated from his broken thumb. The Knicks are going to miss, when I tell you the Knicks are going to miss him, they're going to miss him dearly, man. He does everything for them. Offensive rebounds, blocks. He helps defenders when on broken defensive plays. I mean, he was just starting to get and coming to his own, and the Knicks are definitely going to miss him. So, you know, there's some rumors out there that, you know, Ibaka may be available, but you bring Ibaka in, where does he fit? You bring him in. What minutes does he take? Whose minutes does he replace? So, these 3 weeks are going to be rough. And tonight showed you, as game one, life without Mitchell Robinson is brutal. PR Def kind of the chat. Knicks have to shake things up and make a move to help this team. Agreed. I agree. Leo, I'm a Raptors fan, and I honestly don't mind any of the East teams, but I scout every team, and then the Knicks seem to go winning streaks and then losing streaks. They do, Leo. The Knicks seem to go, they win a lot, then they lose a lot. I mean, you're scouting us, and, I'm scouting the Raptors team. You guys have underperformed this season. Some names have been in trade rumors. OG, Gary Trent, just to name a couple. So whether the Raptors blow it up or whether they, acquire another piece to try to bolster their lineup. But Raptors are a tough team. They're just, playing poorly at the beginning of the season, and now they're starting to come into their own as well. And, I shouldn't say that. They're still 20-26, but, they're tough. If I'm the Knicks, I do not want to see the Raptors in like a play-in tournament situation, or they're just lengthy and they give the Knicks havoc. They have 2 wins against the New York Knicks this season already, and the Knicks go into Toronto again on Sunday, and hopefully we can split the season series because they're a tough team. Lamar Jackson in the chat. Things can get ugly quick. Dave's got to go, man, no matter what. He's out-coached every game. Yeah, what's funny? I feel like every time the Knicks win, he doesn't get much of the credit at all. People don't give him credit. But I think he should get some of the credit. But when the Knicks lose, you see the glaring issues that, this team has. Effort on the defensive end. Getting out-hustled by the opponent. Tonight was a prime example. No adjustments. I don't think I've seen the Knicks run zone all season. Like, try something. If something's not working, just try something new. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt at all. The Hawks dropped 139 points on you. I mean, when's the last time the Knicks gave up that much? I'm pretty sure it was earlier on in the season. Was it to the OKC, when OKC came in the Garden and put up like 140 in the Garden? But 139 points against the Knicks, not good. Not good. Yeah, without Mitch, we definitely got to struggle against Toronto. Yeah. Mitch was a problem for the Raptors when we faced the Raptors. So it's going to be very interesting what adjustments the New York Knicks make. Obviously, you have Julius Randle down there. And last game, Julius Randle didn't really play that well. But tonight, he really bounced back, especially in the third quarter, where it was a one-man show. Nothing was clicking for the New York Knicks, and Julius Randle was playing bully ball out there. And the Hawks didn't have an answer for him. And, Randle balled out. Give credit where credit is due. But as soon as Julius Randle came out that game, it was downhill. The Hawks went on an 11-0 run. Then, it was just awful. I mean, the Knicks didn't have an answer, for Murray. And, Trae Young was 1 for 7 from 3 tonight. I mean, the Hawks shot 38% from 3, but 56% from the field. That is unheard of. How do you shoot 56% from the field? That is unheard of. But look, when you're not playing defense, when you're letting guys blow by you, and pick and roll also killed the New York Knicks tonight. They couldn't defend it. Murray and Trae Young had them in pick and roll situations all night long. Obviously, yeah. Who else? Hunter had 20 on the Hawks side. Collins had 17. Solid game out of Collins. Only missed 1 shot. 17-9 plus 25. John Collins was pretty good. Even though on the defensive end, Julius Randle was giving him problems. He was making him work. I wanted to, maybe this was one of those games where Julius Randle had to play like 40 minutes. But look, credit where credit is due. Tom Thibodeau pulled the starters. Look, we didn't have it late in the fourth quarter. He yanked them. So 33 minutes for Julius Randle, 28 for Sims, 36 for Brunson, 39 for Barrett. Yeah, man, one of those games. One of those games. Once again, if you're new here, I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Appreciate you guys in the chat. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, join the family. Just going through these post games night after night. New York Knicks drop onto the Atlanta Hawks 139 and 124. Now move to 25 and 22 on the season. Lamar in the chat, the $1 million question is, what do the Knicks do? That is a $1 million question. Trading deadline is in a couple of 3 weeks here. Obviously, you've had the rumors of Cam Reddish. Miami's interested. You have Dallas is interested. The Lakers are interested. There's going to be teams interested in Cam Reddish. It just depends on, what the Knicks decide to get in return for Cam. It's been rumored that they want a couple of second-round picks. I do think they can get more, but Cam hasn't played since December. So right now, if you're an opponent, if you're another team, you're going to, when you're doing these negotiations, you're going to say, look, Cam hasn't played in December. We do not know what Cam looks like. They have all the leverage. Right now, the Knicks do not hold any leverage in terms of Cam Reddish, and you can blame the Knicks for that, but it's just the reality of the situation. So, obviously, you had the Reggie Bullock rumor, which I didn't like at all. I think the Knicks can acquire bigger fish. You have all these first-round picks. I'm not saying go crazy. I'm just saying acquire a 3-and-D guy, someone off the bench that can help you. Like, the Hawks have Bogdan off the bench, like a Kevin Herter who they traded to the Kings. Someone like that who can shoot the three and also play defense. The Knicks are one of the worst. Their bench is one of the worst 3-point percentage shooting benches in the NBA. So getting someone who can, shoot the three off the bench is huge. Would be huge and would unlock something that we haven't seen from this Knicks team this season. And look, you could say Evan Fournier, right? But Evan Fournier doesn't play a lick of defense, so that's my counter to that. Yeah, PR. Gary Trent, man. Gary Trent. I want Gary Trent on the New York Knicks. We have a Raptors fan in the chat. Leo, what do you think about trading Gary Trent to the Knicks? Let's say we give you OB, a first-round pick for Trent. Would you do that? Does that even match? I don't even know if the money matches, but the Raptors aren't going to give away Gary Trent for nothing. But I think Gary Trent will be perfect on the Knicks. I do. I know fans don't want to see Obi go. I'm just spitting out trade ideas. But you lose Obi, but then you get a perfect fit in Gary Trent. So yeah, Leo, you're gonna give up a bit for Trent. Yeah, that's why I said Obi in a first. You want more? I don't think I'll go more than that. Depends on the stipulations on that first round pick. It really does. PR in the chat, crying face Obi. Yo, if we want Gary Trent, we got to give up quite a bit to get him. Let's look at what Gary Trent is doing this year. I know he's shooting pretty well this season. Yeah, he's averaging 18.5 points a game. You're going to have to give up a lot to get Gary Trent. I mean, he's a baller. And, yeah, he's definitely a baller. I would love him on the team. I would. Lamar said OB Deuce and 2 first-round picks for Gary Trent. Ooh. That hurt. You see, I see that, and I say, nah, I don't think I could trade 2 first-round picks for Gary Trent. If it was Kyle Kuzma, I would do that. Even though Kuzma is pretty much an expiring deal. So, no, I wouldn't do that. Because you're giving up 2 firsts for Kuzma. But then again, Kyle Kuzma on the Knicks coming off the bench or maybe even starting alongside Barrett. And then you slide Grimes back to the bench unit. And then that'll bolster up the bench unit. Either way, it'll bolster up the bench unit. If you want to bring Kuzma off the bench or bring Grimes off the bench. I think I would do that for Kuzma. And then you have this bird rights. And then you could sign him this summer. I just want them to do something. Don't come February 9th when 3 o'clock hits. I don't want the New York Knicks to, not do anything. I know you're gonna have a small trade with Cam, maybe even Derrick Rose, but that's not going to, help us. You're gonna give away Cam for 2 second round picks. Like, what is that gonna do? I mean, come on now. Big task hit first round picks. Nah, chill. Yeah, I mean, look, Gary Trent is nice. Yeah, Leo. People forget how good of a defender he is. Yeah, man. Gary Trent is a great defender. He can hit the three and he can score. I mean, if the Raptors are going to blow it up, if I'm Leon Rose, I'm on the phone with them right now. I am. The Knicks are a better team than the Raptors. And if they bring someone like him coming off the bench or even starting alongside Brunson, and when if you bring Gary Trent in here right now, he's better than Grimes. So I wouldn't see why you wouldn't start him rather than Grimes. I'm not saying Grimes can't be a starter. I'm just saying, you slide Grimes back to that bench unit. You have him and quickly. It just makes the Knicks a better squad. It does. It just does. PR Def Time. See, this is why, unfortunately, we'll end up with Reggie Bullock or Rudy Gay. Why are you hurting my feelings right now, man? Why are you hurting my feelings, man? You know that's what's going to happen. You know the Knicks are going to do that stupid trade to Dallas. They're going to trade Cam Reddish for 2 second-round picks and Reggie freaking Bullock and piss me off. I mean, it's going to piss me off if they do that. Reggie Bullock is having a terrible year. I get it. He was good on the Knicks. We should have signed him instead of Evan Fournier, but that ship has sailed. Please do not bring Reggie Bullock back to the New York Knicks. That is not what we need. It's not. Leo, I just want DeMar DeRozan in Toronto again. We'll see. Bulls aren't playing well, so Yeah, Lamar, that's the type of shit the Knicks do. Yeah, I mean they which is why when I saw that Reggie Bullock rumor came out, I even talked to my co-host Chris about this. I took a step back and I was like, this is going to happen. This is definitely going to happen because this is such a Knicks move. It's a lateral move. They don't give up anything. They acquire 2 seconds. They bring back Reggie. They keep their first round picks. They keep hoarding their first round picks, and it's a Knicks move. It's such a Knicks move to do that. So we shall see. I keep looking at these Gary Trent stats. 36% from three, 18.5 points. I mean, you have him or Eric Gordon, but Eric Gordon you're going to have to send them a first round pick. And do you want to send the Houston Rockets a first round pick for Eric Gordon? I don't know. It would have to be like a heavily protected first round pick. If it's like a heavily protected and maybe like a Cam Reddish, why not, right? I mean, why? I mean, we have 1 billion first round picks. I mean, why not? I mean, but I just want to see Leon Rose not stand pat come February 9th and bolster this bench unit, man. You have room. You have guys like Eric Gordon, Gary Trent, maybe Kuzma, guys like that are available. They're open. They're open to the market. And you're going to have teams other than the Knicks that are going to try to bolster their bench as well. So Knicks got to act quick here. I don't think they could wait a couple of weeks here because you either have to acquire another big now with Mitchell Robinson going out because these next 3 weeks can be brutal for them. Acquire another big or acquire another 3-and-D guy coming off the bench, But I'm going to repeat it. I do not think the New York Knicks can stand pat come February 9th. I don't. Lamar Jackson, Knicks are a joke when it comes to making moves. Yeah, I guess it depends who you ask about that, right? I mean, we can go back and forth. Leon Rose has made some good moves, but then he has made some bad moves. Obviously, the signing of Fournier, the trading the first round pick to package to get rid of Kemba Walker, even though that allowed us to sign Brunson. So, what we don't want to see is the bad signings And right now, you're gonna have to give up an asset to get rid of Evan Fournier. That's a given. So I don't think Evan Fournier is going anywhere unless he's packaged in a bigger deal to make money work. So Evan Fournier is going to be on the bench for the foreseeable future because I don't see the Knicks attaching a first to get rid of him. I don't. Um, like I said, unless it's for a bigger fish and Fournier is part of that deal. So, but yeah, Evan Fournier will be a Knick, I think, through February 9th and maybe even next season. Maybe this summer they can get something for him, but I just don't think with one more year left on his deal, and I don't think the Knicks are going to entertain, attaching assets to his name. I don't. Yeah, Leo, the only promising thing right now in Toronto is besides Scotty is Fred. Yeah, Fred VanVleet is a baller, man. He's a Knick killer. He kills us every time he plays us. VanVleet sort of reminds me of Jalen Brunson in a way. They both are similar, but they're both, craftier in their own ways. But shout out to VanVleet. He's a baller. But yeah, we thought coming into the season, the Raptors were going to be a good team. We thought this Atlantic Division, it is tough, but we thought the Raptors were going to be up there. But Knicks are better, and most of that has to do with the play of Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. So, yeah, consistency is never there. That's coming from the front office and the team. Yeah, consistency in terms of there also has to be communication in terms of, what Tom Thibodeau wants. What Tom Thibodeau wants if they decide to keep Thibodeau. Let me just rephrase that. So if they decide to keep Thibodeau, which I do think they do, there has to be communication. I do think that Thibodeau, like Leon Rose, before he makes a deal, he has to be like, look, just hypothetical. I'm going to acquire Gary Trent. Is Gary Trent going to play? Obviously. Then he has to call Tom Thibodeau saying, look, I'm going to acquire this player X. Is this player going to be in the rotation? Because I'm not going to do it unless this player is going to be in the rotation. So there just has to be communication from Leon Rose to Scott Perry to Tom Thibodeau all the way down. But yeah, Lamar, I agree with you. Consistency hasn't been there for the most part, but, the future is bright. We've started this season well. Granted, this season has been a roller coaster. I get it. The ups and downs, the 8-game winning streak, followed that by the Dallas debacle. A few of these losses here have come in late in games, and the Knicks could easily have 5 more wins on their belt, and they could be a better team than what they are today. But a few of those losses, whether you want to blame coaching or schemes in those situations, but it has been a roller coaster. But pair that with the picks. They have 2 first-round picks coming up this summer. They have Dallas's pick. Obviously, they're on their own. But they're going to be picking in the 20s, even though this draft is kind of deep. So I guess we shall see. PR in the chat, I really think fatigue is a big issue right now. Kind of would explain the winning streaks and the losing streaks. Start well and can't end the game strong most nights. Yeah, I agree. Fatigue, you see it, and guys are huffing and puffing. They're playing heavy minutes. Starters are playing heavy minutes, not to the point where, it's crazy. Like, everyone in the NBA is playing heavy minutes. Not just the Knicks. You have superstars on other teams that are playing 40-plus minutes as well because these teams want to win these games. So, which is why I think it's so important for them to bolster the bench so these guys can get some rest. Lil in the chat, this season shows that this is what happens when you run a roster that has no starting true center, and instead you play your starting 5 to death. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson, I want to say Mitchell Robinson was being overplayed. He wasn't really. How much minutes did Mitchell Robinson average this season? I don't think he was being overplayed. Yeah, he's only averaging 26.9 minutes per game. He's not being overplayed. It's just these injuries that come with him are like fluky. Last season was a good season. You can say it was a contract year, got his money, but fluke injury. Like, he was going for a rebound His thumb got jammed, just happened to be broken. Sucks, but Knicks are desperately going to miss him. Lamar bringing up the swings and misses. The swings and misses. Look at the players we missed on. He's going through a list about all the players that we missed on. DeRozan, Murray, Mitchell. Yeah, man. I mean, I could talk about this, when the trading deadline comes around again. But, I talked about this during the last game. The front office seems to me like they play scared a lot. They act like fans running the Knicks team, and you can't do that. You have to be willing to trade some players that are not going to, that you don't think are going to be here long term in the future, and that are going to upset the fan base now, but in the future it's going to actually benefit the New York Knicks as an organization. Like if they traded Barrett for Mitchell, it would have upset the fan base now, but who knows? But yeah, which is why I've said that I don't think Leon Rose has made like a shaking move to shake things up. I just think he's played his cards, right. He hasn't taken that big risk yet. And I just think that eventually he has to take a risk soon, like real soon. He can't just keep hoarding these picks. You had a lottery pick this past draft, and what did you do with it? You traded it out to sign Brunson. Now you're gonna have 2 picks in the 20s. So where are those players going to play? Like, let's say you draft 2 Knicks in the 20s. Where are those players going to play? Find me those players playing time, especially if you keep Quickly, Obi, all these guys can't play, which is why a trade has to be made soon. You have to shake something up because, you have all these picks, but there's only 15 roster spots on a team, and I just think eventually Leon Rose and Scott Perry in the front office and all the voices you hear in the front office, they have to make a move that in the long run is going to benefit this team, and who knows what that would be. Who knows? I guess we have to wait and see for that. Yeah, like what are they waiting on? Yeah. Leo, I'm biased and all, but I hate Randall. But you as a Knicks fans, what are your thoughts on him? Julius Randle, as his time as a New York Knick has been up and down. Obviously, he had that great season 2 years ago. Last season we all know how that went. This season, he's played really well. So what are my thoughts on him? Do I think he can help a team win a championship? I do. I think he can be a number 3 on a team. I don't think he can be a 1A. Don't think he could be a B. It's just the style that he plays. Like, I don't think it would work if you pair him with I don't know, for example, if you pair Julius Randle with another Giannis or I think he has to be paired with somebody that complements his game really well, and that's hard in the NBA. But Randle this season should be an all-star. He's playing like a legit all-star. He's playing like he should be selected on an all-NBA team. So this season, no complaints from Julius Randle, but he does have his moments, don't get me wrong, where you're scratching your head and that he needs to get rid of the ball quicker. But, Randle has won the Knicks a lot of games this season. So this season, he's played amazing for them. Big task. I think Randle has improved tremendously, but in key situations, he should not have the ball. Yeah, I mean, we can point to a lot of games this season, right, where Randle has taken the ball late in games and, especially late when the Knicks are up, it seems like they forget how to play basketball, which is why I think they've lost so many games that have come down to the wire. When the Knicks are up, they just forget how to play basketball. And it's mind. I mean, you have Julius Randle holding the ball or, a stupid play here, stupid play there. So, Randle, he has hit clutch shots, but this season, late in games, he's made some boneheaded decisions. I get that. But all in all, you can't hate on his game as a whole. I mean, he's averaging all-star numbers. So, a few games here and there we've lost. I get it. But, he's averaging 24 points a game, 10 rebounds. His rebounding has been really impressive this season, has improved drastically. And 6 assists tonight. I mean, you love to see when Randle shares the ball and gets everyone involved. His last 3 games. 6 assists tonight, 4 assists versus the Wizards, 8 assists versus the Raptors. That's when I see that's when the real Julius Randle comes about. I mean, that's where you see Julius Randle really take his game to the next level, is when he's scoring efficiently and also sharing the ball at a way where it's getting his teammates involved and so on and so forth. PR DEFCON, the biggest part about Randle is, will he accept that he's not a 1A? He's playing amazing, having a good season, but credit to him, he's deferring it to Brunson. Yeah, he's deferred to Brunson plenty of times this season. You know, I do think those two are still trying to figure it out together, but they've done a damn good job. You know, Knicks are a good team, and that has to do with Brunson. And obviously you have Barrett playing well, and, you know, obviously you have Randle playing well. But it's, to me, my concern is the other guys. You know, obviously you've had Quickly here and there play okay. You know, Grimes' offensive game has been on and off. But that's a coaching thing to me, because I do think the Knicks are talented enough to, you know, score with the big boys and play defense with them as well. You know, but I don't think that the coaches, Tom Thibodeau in particular, puts Quentin Grimes in situations where he can succeed, or puts Obi Toppin in situations where he can succeed, or, you know, maybe even Quickly at times. You know, I think way too many times when the Knicks go down, he reverts to Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, but you got to get everyone involved. Leo, here's a real question. Would you rather have Randle or Siakam? I think right now I would take Siakam. He's younger. How old is Pascal Siakam? No, he's 28. I thought he was younger than Julius Randle. I don't know. Siakam has improved here. He's having a good year this season, but I don't know. I take that back. I wouldn't have Siakam. I don't know. That's tough. That's a good comparison, though. Siakam or Julius Randle. I think in a nutshell, I would take Siakam. In a nutshell, I would. It's tough, though. Hey, Leo, I'm not a biased Knicks fans. I would take Siakam, I would. But it's close. It's close. It's close, but good question, though. Those two are pretty similar in what they do. They are. But, yeah, we can go back to the game or not, or we can just continue to, talk Knicks and whatever you guys want to talk about. Ask me some questions about the Knicks, maybe trading deadline coming up. Try to get you guys involved as much as possible. I know this game was a tough game to watch, defensively especially. DeJounte Murray was killing the Knicks up and down, calling Emmanuel Quickly small. I saw that, DeJounte Murray. I saw that. He did a move on quickly, and he called him small. Okay. We got y'all next time. Yeah, Big Taz. Randle. Yeah, Randle was tougher. It's close. It is close. Julius Randle. If you just join in, they're going back and forth between Julius Randle, who would you rather have, or Pascal Siakam. So, yeah. Knicks got to figure it out, man. Got to figure out the bench. Got to figure out the defense now when Mitchell Robinson is out. So, go back to the drawing board. I've said that mostly after every Knicks loss. So, up and down season continues. Knicks have now dropped 3 straight games. Next game is at Toronto. I'm sure the Raptors are going to want some revenge on the New York Knicks. So, Toronto's a tough place to play, but Knicks beat them last time. But the Raptors are tough, man. I don't want to see the Raptors in a play-in tournament, man. That's for sure. I don't. Yeah, PR always. Yeah, the Hawks are one of those teams. The Hawks are like the Memphis Grizzlies of the East, right? They talk a lot. You have Trae Young and Murray, love to yap their mouth, love to talk, and they're talented. Don't get me wrong, but they're playing well here these last 5 games, but early in the season they were playing poorly. Hawks love to talk, man, but credit to them, they won. They beat the Knicks, so they love to talk. They're like Memphis, man. They love to talk, and they that's it. I can't stand them either. I think it's Trae Young. I do. But now they have another villain on their team, Murray. He's just one of those players that great player, good player. Just one of those players that when they're facing your team, you just it sucks. Leo, you think Randall would be a good defender on the way he built? He's a good. I mean, the thing about Randall and his defense is when he puts his mind to playing defense, he's actually a pretty good defender. It's just that, time and time again, he's like thinking about something else, and this year has been pretty solid on the defensive end, better than last year. But Randall on defense, it's all a mental game with him. If he puts his mind to certain things, he can be unstoppable. Like if he puts his mind to saying like I'm going to score this basketball on you right now, and there's nothing you can do about it, he's going to score. That's just the way it is. Yeah, Lamar. Murray can talk shit when he busted their ass. Yeah, man. Murray busted their ass for sure. I think, and remember early on in the season when the New York Knicks when Trae Young got hurt and the Knicks went up like 20 in the Hawks. Who was the guy that came that willed the Hawks to a victory? It was Murray. He balled out in the Garden as well. Whenever we beat the Hawks fans are nowhere to be found. Yeah, man. I see them on my timeline, though. I see them on my timeline at times. They do talk crap like us, but it is what it is. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. Once again, I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation, doing post games all season. Knicks dropped 1 to the Hawks, have now lost 3 straight in a row. Raptors on Sunday. You get a win or lose 4 straight games. No Mitchell Robinson. Knicks have to pick it up on the defensive end. Can't allow teams to pick you apart on the pick and roll. Got to go back to the drawing board and, get a victory in Toronto. Get a victory in T-Dot. But appreciate you guys in the chat. Leo, Lamar, PR Defcon. Who else was in here? Yeah, that's pretty big task. Appreciate you guys as always, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll be back on Sunday. Have a good night. And as always, let's go Knicks. Peace.